Whenever you open your food truck, there becomes a point when you realize that, hey man, I can actually do this. Today we're going to explore that topic just a little bit. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business.
Over the past several days, 3 females have been found dead.
Looks like someone's going after these girls.
Then they have to know to watch their backs.
Streaming March 13th.
You really want what happened to this woman? That happened to you?
Exactly why I need to keep going on this.
Starring Emmy Award winner Amanda Seyfried.
I'm worried about what you're going to find.
So am I.
Long Bright River. A limited series. Streaming March 13th. Only on Peacock.
What got you interested to do a food truck in the first place?
This is kind of a boring story, but again, I'm from the South, so I'll try to not blab on too far. But so I was in sales for over 20 years. Before that, I worked in radio. I used to have a morning show. I did AM talk radio, and I loved it. Kids came along. My kids are 24 and 21. I realized that, if you want to be successful in radio, you're going to have to move around the country. I didn't really want to do that to my kids. Got out of that, got into sales, did again that for 20 plus years, in-home sales. I got out of that and I started working as a project manager for a small construction company. I also, when I got out of high school, I built houses for a while. So I have that kind of background too. So I did that. And quite honestly, I fell on a little bit of ill health. My ticker went a little south. They had to go in and fix that. And they told me I had diabetes. I'm like, oh, gee whiz, thanks. So I was out of commission for a little while. But again, us being from the South, the glass is always half full. I got better and that job didn't work out for, various reasons. Small company, the guy was real nice, real great, but just didn't mesh. So I'm kicking around thinking, God, I'm on unemployment. I gotta find a little extra money here. Called up my buddy Dave. My buddy Dave has been doing running a food truck since 2017, I think. I had actually trained him as a salesperson at one of the jobs I worked at. He quit and he went to go start up a food truck. And he goes, you need some extra money? He goes, yeah, no problem. He goes, I'll give you some hours. Come work on the truck with me. He lives about 45 minutes north of me and he does pizza. His trucks, I've never seen a truck like it. He does wood-fired pizza and barbecue. His pizza oven is inside of his truck. He has a wood-fired pizza oven. Literally in the back of it, it's a dome and you put logs in there. And I was like, holy cow, how'd you do it? Like, really? He goes, yeah. So I started working a few gigs with him. And it was summertime and it was hot and I lost some weight. And I just, started noticing, because he was in with all the food truck, when they have the big gatherings, there's a bunch and I'd go talk to people. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think I can do this. I really do. I'm a pretty confident guy. I know I can cook. So I went back, and I'm talking to Dave and I go, Dave, I think I can do this. And he goes, yeah, I think you can too. I go, but here's my question. This is a huge question for me. Where we live in this area, it's a lot of barbecue. It's a lot of pizza. It's a lot of tacos and they're all wonderful. It's all really good food. But again, there's a lot of time. There's a lot. It almost seems I'm thinking, God, the market around here for food trucks, it seems a little saturated. I go, Dave, give me some help. What do you think I should do? And he goes, can you cook Polish food? I go, no, I can't. It's around Chicago. There's a huge Polish population. Right. I go, no. He goes, can you cook grilled cheese? I go, well, yeah, I make a bunch of them for my family. He goes, do that. And I went, okay. So that's, I kind of took that. And so I actually give kind of credit to my buddy Dave for coming up with the idea. And I thought, yeah, we could do that. And then I had to convince my wife and my mother-in-law and everyone, you can't make any money selling grilled cheese. I go, I think we can. I think we can do it. And here's why. No one else is doing it. Well, how are you going to charge for a grilled cheese? No one's going to pay you money for a grilled cheese. I think we can. And we have. again, short story long, that's how I started. And we just last week, we've been doing this again. My startup first gig was last weekend in August. We got the truck. We're up and rolling. I just bought another truck last week. We're going to get another truck up and rolling.
So who's going to run it?
I'm going to have Joel run it. So Joel's going to take that one. I'll take the other one. We're a little slower now. It's getting colder.
Right.
But we have more gigs than we know what to do with. I mean, it's not, first world problems, but we have more opportunity than I can get the truck to. We found another truck for a great price, and we're going to get it wrapped, make it look exactly like this one, and roll it out.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the vehicle for just a second.
Sure.
You have a truck. So what kind of truck is it that you have?
I have a 2000 International Model 1652 7.3 liter turbo diesel. So basically what it is one more step above this, and I would have to have a CDL. What it was originally an old Wisconsin power and light truck, utility truck.
Right.
Which I know maybe kind of sounds weird for a food truck, because usually you see them as box trucks.
Right.
And I found this truck in Skokie, Illinois, another suburb of Chicago. If you're familiar with the John Hughes movies, Ferris Bueller and all, that's where they filmed up there. So I found this on Facebook Marketplace, and we were looking for a truck. This would have been spring of, earlier this year. And it's cold, and I found this truck, and we went to look at it, and the guy was a film producer. So we walk into the truck, and there was an aisle in the middle, and all these shelves and all these racks and all these things. And he would keep his camera equipment and cords and cables and everything. And I said, we'll take it. Needed an exhaust. It's got 111,000 miles on it, which for a diesel, I know for a diesel is not that bad.
Yes, it's barely broken.
If you want to know what I paid for it, I'll tell you. I'm not ashamed.
What'd you pay?
13.
Jeez, you got a steal.
The truck I got last week, I got for $6,900.
And what kind is it?
That is a 2003 Isuzu 4-cylinder diesel, older FedEx truck, 14 feet. Cargo area is 14 feet by 7 feet.
So how will
it's got 200,000 miles on it.
Still a good deal. So how will the kitchen space on that one compare to your first one?
They're the same.
Same size?
Yeah, the cargo area is actually, and that's what I was looking for, because I want to recreate what we've done. You mentioned McDonald's earlier. I want to be able to have as many trucks as the market will allow, but I want them to be the same layout. So I can take me, Joel, whoever I hire, and plug them in anywhere, and they're comfortable with the flow, with how it works. The only thing that we're looking on changing on the new truck, I call him Chef Joel. He wants to add cheese curds. And I said, well, we figured out how to do it. We'll do it.
Those are a trendy thing right now for a lot of restaurants and food trucks. So it'll probably be worth getting into and then to see where it goes. Because it makes sense, because it's still on the cheese line.
Yeah.
And it is something a little bit different. And like I said, it's trendy right now too. So do you have any plans to increase the menu at all? Anything down the road, so to speak?
Yeah. I don't want to stay stale. And I guess this is the reason, I read, all the forums and the things that you do and all the questions that people ask, because I even read the stuff that doesn't necessarily pertain to what I'm doing, because you never know. I listen to everybody. Changing up the menu a little bit, running specials. Absolutely. I don't. And again, I'm brand new. I mean, I'm not even, a full 3 months into this. I have a feeling I'm going to get to the point where I'm not going to want to change it too much. It's kind of one of those things, this is what's made us successful. Please don't take it away from me. Because we're already getting people, we do events or whatever, and they ask specifically for one sandwich. I did think about doing, because we don't have anything sweet, I thought about doing a s'mores grilled cheese. Take a little marshmallow fluff on some white bread, and I've tested it. It's pretty good. It's messy. A little bit of marshmallow fluff, some Ghirardelli chocolate chips, and crumbled up graham crackers on a grilled cheese. It's pretty good. It's pretty sweet. It's fattening.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very sweet.
It's very sweet. So I was thinking about doing something like that maybe next year in the fall. I thought that might be appropriate.
Possibly. I've always had something sweet on every menu I've ever done, just because I like sweets. And I usually veer towards something chocolate, because again, it's an easy sell. But yeah, certainly look at something sweet. I think it brings in just one more type of person to come try your food.
Sure.
Now, you mentioned the one sandwich where you're trying to replicate the French onion. How close do you get to that flavor when somebody bites into it, do you think?
I've had people come back and tell me yes, it's pretty close to a French onion soup, which I thought was pretty cool.
It is.
Like, wow, that's kind of neat. That's what I was going for. It makes you feel good. It boosts the ego a little,
Yeah, it's always good to be vindicated that what you set out to accomplish actually got accomplished. And people can recognize.
Yeah. It's one of, this is going to sound strange. And I don't know why this is, but I've noticed, because I'm always the one that sits at the window, it's more popular with women than it is with men.
That particular sandwich?
Yes. And I don't know why.
Not sure either. Melissa loves French onion soup, as do I.
Yeah, it's delightful. Maybe the name?
Maybe.
I don't know, but I've noticed it's more popular with women than men, and I don't know why. The Johnny Appleseed goes both ways. It straddles both genders all the way down the road. But that particular one, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it sounds fancy because it's French,
It's Michel.
Exactly.
Oui.
Exactly. Just repronounce that name. There you go. The tomato soup. My thoughts were when you were talking about that, because that's definitely a Southern staple. Grilled cheese in a soup, and you're going to dip your sandwich in the soup. Do you offer it as a bowl, or is it an accompaniment to the sandwich?
We do these little 8-ounce.
8-ounce?
I think these are 8-ounce, yeah. And we do them for $4. And it's homemade. Joel makes it. I send him to Costco with a card, and he gets the tomatoes. It's actually more like a bisque than a soup. It's a creamy tomato, and I tell you what, the people that have had it, again, it's been a little hard to get it out the window. I had one lady come back a few weeks ago, and she literally walked back up the window. She goes, "That soup is epic." And I turned around and looked at Joel. I said, "Joel, your soup is epic." So that's what we're doing. 8 ounces, little cardboard, $4.
Is it topped with anything?
No.
Do you offer crackers with it?
That's a great idea. And I was thinking, because of the bread that we use, it's a loaf of bread. There's butt-ins and, there's usually 2 to 4, including the butt-end slices on each loaf. I throw them away, and I feel terrible about it, because not only, I figured that into cost, to my cogs and everything, how many I can get, but I'm still throwing away bread. And, as a guy that grew up down south, and we didn't, it's not like we had a ton of money. That hurts my heart.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, what do I do with this? I can't really donate it. I can't. So we thought croutons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's save it.
Selling point.
Yeah, let's save it.
Fresh-made croutons.
Fresh-made croutons, and we've done that. They're delicious. We have, some bags of them. I was thinking about selling them by the bag, because I do waste. It's literally, that much out of each loaf.
Right.
I thought about selling them off the truck. We tried them with the soup. They're delicious. Again, rolling out that soup hasn't just taken off. So we haven't really married the two together yet. No.
Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about taking something that's already wonderful and just assembling it. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow, because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.